A couple of months ago, something happened to me that still makes my stomach turn when I think about it. It was a regular night, or at least it started that way. I was hanging out at a friend's house on the outskirts of town. We were just talking, listening to music and enjoying each other's company. Time flew by, and before I even realized it, it was past 2 a.m. The moment I checked the time, I felt that familiar pull. No matter where I am, I always prefer to sleep in my own bed. So I decided to call an Uber to take me home. Now here's the thing. My friend lives in a very rural area. It's the kind of place where the streetlights are far apart. The roads are narrow and everything feels quiet. Too quiet. I opened the Uber app and the closest available driver was more than 15 minutes away. I stood outside under a flickering streetlight just waiting. No cars, no sounds, nothing but the hum of distant crickets and the wind rustling through the trees. The silence was so loud, it almost felt like a warning. Finally, the car arrived, a black sedan with tinted windows. The driver was an older man, maybe in his late 40s or early 50s. I got into the car, buckled my seatbelt, and before I could even say anything, he turned his head slightly and said, "You're really pretty." My body stiffened. Something about his voice, his tone. It didn't feel like a compliment. It felt heavy, unsettling. Maybe if it were daylight and I was with friends, I would have brushed it off. But here, alone at 2 in the morning, it sent alarm bells blaring in my head. I forced a quiet, "Thank you," and turned my face to the window, hoping that would end the conversation. But it didn't. About 5 minutes into the ride, he asked me, "Was that your boyfriend at the door?" I froze. I hadn't said anything about my friend, but the driver must have seen him as I was leaving. I had this gut feeling that this question wasn't innocent. I didn't want to give the wrong answer, so I said, "Yes, that was my boyfriend." I didn't offer anything more. Then he said, "He's lucky. You're really beautiful." I didn't answer. I couldn't. My heart was starting to pound faster. I kept my eyes on the road ahead, on the Uber map on his dashboard, tracking every turn. That's when I noticed something. The route we were supposed to take? He wasn't following it. We were going the wrong way. About 10 minutes into the drive, he said, "I know a faster way to your house. We'll take a shortcut." I stared out the window. The surroundings were getting darker. The road was more isolated, surrounded by trees and no longer lit. This shortcut? It wasn't leading to the city. It was leading away from it. Away from people. Away from lights. Away from safety. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My throat was dry and my hands were sweating. I pulled out my phone and called my dad. The operator picked up almost immediately. I couldn't just say what was happening. I was afraid he might hear me. So I pretended I was talking to my dad. "Hey Dad, I'm on my way home. I'm in an Uber now." The operator picked up on it fast. She started guiding me with simple yes or no questions. "Is the car black?" I said yes. "Is it a Toyota?" "Yes." "Are you in a rural area?" "Yes." "Do you feel safe?" I paused. Then I said, "I don't know." That's all she needed. She asked for my location and I gave a general idea based on what I could see out the window. She then told me to ask the driver to drop me off at a specific address she gave me, an address just a few minutes from the police station. She said an officer would be waiting for me there. I turned to the driver, trying to stay calm. "Sorry, I actually need to stop at another place first. Can you drop me there?" He hesitated, then nodded. "Sure." The drive to that address felt like it lasted forever. I stayed on the phone with the operator the entire time, my voice trembling, pretending I was talking to my dad about normal things. She kept reassuring me softly, "You're doing great. You're almost there." Finally, we pulled into the neighborhood. It was quiet, but not deserted. I saw the house. I saw the police car parked a few houses down, just like she said. The moment the car stopped, I got out without saying a word. I walked straight toward the officer. He looked at me, nodded, and asked if I was okay. I broke down right there. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't trusted my instincts. Maybe the driver was harmless. Maybe he really did know a shortcut. But every part of me, my heart, my brain, my gut, was telling me something was off. And I'm glad I listened. Since then, I never take Uber alone at night. I always share my rides with family or friends. And I will never again ignore that feeling deep in my chest when something feels wrong. If you're listening to this, please remember, your gut feeling is there for a reason. Trust it. It could save your life.